Hello everyone, my name is Kamari, and today we're gonna have a little bit of a night session talk. Based on the thumbnail, we're gonna be talking about the erasure of Black women's legacy, and specifically, I'm going to be talking about the Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus boycott, and also just some final thoughts of like where do I think these conversations are going. So yeah, let's get to talking. I have my tea with me, and so we know Rosa Parks' name is quite literally everywhere, and so I'm just going to show some forms of her name in popular media.
But that's Rosa Parks and that's Archie back there. That's my man Archie. She stole him from me, and I started to separate Moon because of this. I was like, Rosa, get off the bus. I just won't talk to you. So she stayed on the bus. Man got mad.
Please move to the back of the bus.
Oh my God.
I need that seat now. Please move.
Okay, so I'm going to show some examples of kind of basically just the story that is told in elementary schools to kids about Rosa Parks, but honestly, I'm using it because I don't think it gets that much really any better as we grow older. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but with everything that I know now and just literally this whole class, when I see stuff like this is how I feel.
Before, I was going to keep it to myself, but actually, I think I'm a little bothered now.
Okay, so most of that was very unserious, but we're actually going to dive deep into a little bit more of a deeper topic. So, we cannot mention the Montgomery bus boycott without mentioning the sexual violence that Black women have faced in the South. And so this specifically Alabama, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about a case. I'm not going to get too descriptive, but it could be a little much for someone, so I did put a trigger warning for anyone. So I will be talking about the victim, Recy Taylor, and so I'm kind of going to talk about her case as just the main example of sexual violence in Alabama at the time. On the way home from church, Recy Taylor, along with Fanny Daniel, a 61-year-old woman, and Daniel's 18-year-old son, was stopped by a car full of 7 white men who were armed with knives and guns. They told Recy that they had been sent by police to catch a Black woman accused of cutting a white boy, and without any question, they grabbed Recy and placed her in her car, claiming she was the one who did it. She tried to escape, but the men told her that they would kill her if she ran, and they then drove into the woods and took turns raping her. And I know that might have been a lot, but as students in this class, I think we all pretty know that unfortunately cases like Recy Taylor's were far too common. And so I have a quote by E.D. Nixon and E.G. Jackson, who kind of just summarize this whole thing and say like this was a part of a ritual rape that in which white men in the segregated South abducted and assaulted Black women with alarming regularity and stunning uniformity. And so one thing that's actually really interesting about this case is that Rosa Parks organized a campaign for Recy Taylor. The testimony that she got from Recy helped spark nationwide interest and brought attention to the sexual violence that Black women face at the hands of white men in Alabama. Hands down, Rosa Parks is a badass and she has my utmost respect. And it's quite sad to see her legacy being just diminished into this tired woman who decided to give up, who did not want to give up her seat on. But now that we know a little bit about Rosa, let's talk a little bit about the actual violence that would occur on the buses and one of the driving forces behind the reason why this boycott lasted so long and it was so successful. I think it can be really easy for us to overlook the treatment that Black women faced on these buses and this, thinking about it, this is how they got to and from work, and thinking about how they were even assaulted at their workplace is really important. So we cannot boil the Montgomery bus boycott down to a protest where the goal was integration or intermarriage, even, as white supremacists such as local citizen council leader Sam Elgort would say. We also cannot boil this movement down to getting a seat on the bus. And so in her TED Talk, Kimberly Crenshaw does a good job of explaining one part of this why. Why are Black women being erased from these crucial movements? And so I'm going to read a quote by her from the TED Talk. And so she says, communications experts tell us that when facts do not fit with the available frames, people have a difficult time incorporating new facts into their way of thinking about a problem. And so these women's names have slipped through our consciousness because there are no frames for us to see them, no frames for us to remember them, and no frames for us to hold them. And this is why I'm so glad that I'm able to share, what I've learned with you guys. And we're all able to have these discussions based on intersectionality and the way that race and gender affects the lives of Black women today. And, of course, this video is only around 7 minutes. And so I couldn't really touch or really dive deep into things that I wanted to, but I hope that you guys took something away from this. And then I'm actually gonna end on a little silly note with how I think things are going right. And the thing is, I'm very much on Black Twitter. I've been in a lot of Black spaces on apps such as Clubhouse, but these are the conversations that they are having. I'm not saying this is everyone, but we do have a long way to go. Yeah.